Upon the premiere of The Shawshank Redemption on September 23, 1994, Hollywood's Cinerama Dome hosted a visit by filmmaker Frank Darabont and producer Liz Glotzer. Like many other directors, Darabont was curious to see how the general public responded to his most recent picture. The drama set in a prison generated positive early buzz. Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman starred in the film Shawshank Redemption, even though they probably weren't prepared with the same kind of attendance that had been going to Forrest Gump all summer. Glotzer and Darabont understood they had made a quality movie. Nearly all of the more than 900 seats in the Cinerama Dome theater were empty. The moment was particularly upsetting because the movie had only had a small theatrical run, opening in just 33 locations at first to encourage positive word of mouth. The Shawshank Redemption didn't do well, despite having an extremely good per-screen average that weekend, roughly $22,000 per site, topping bigger pictures like Quiz Show and Clear and Present Danger. Just $2.4 million was made at the box office when it was released on October 14th for the broad distribution. The Shawshank Redemption failed to meet its expected $25 to $28 million budget, taking in just $16 million by the time it closed its theaters in November. That failure would seem strange to those who have seen The Shawshank Redemption in the 25 years that have passed. It is currently a popular film that frequently appears near the top of the list of the greatest films ever made. The story of hope and redemption that The Shawshank Redemption tells, from its mostly unnoticed debut to becoming one of the most acclaimed movies of the last 25 years, is remarkably similar to that of the movie's main character, Andy Dufresne, who is imprisoned and in danger and must endure a protracted purgatory before finding happiness. Frank Darabont developed The Shawshank Redemption as a result of his love for Stephen King's writing. Darabont wrote to King in 1980 when he was just 21 years old and had not yet received an Oscar nomination, asking for permission to adopt one of the author's short tales, The Woman in the Room. Amateur filmmakers approached King with similar demands, which he frequently granted, enabling them to modify his work for almost nothing, as long as they weren't shown for profit. He also did the same for Darabont, who worked on the short film for years until completing it in 1983. When Darabont co-wrote A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors in 1987, he received his first screen credit. This time, he intended to approach King with a more audacious proposal to adapt The Mist, a novella that detailed the covert dangers posed by an odd fog that engulfs a tiny Maine village and was first published in 1980. Darabont then had second thoughts. He was concerned that a film adaptation of The Mist would stereotype him as a horror director, especially since he had recently completed A Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Rather than doing that, he requested the rights to the novella Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption, which is part of the author's 1982 book Different Seasons. Although King was uncertain about the story's suitability for a movie, Darabont sent the author a check for several $1,000s to obtain the rights to try. Charting his eventual escape, Andy Dufresne, a wrongfully convicted prisoner in the novella, spends time in a New England prison under the watchful eye of multiple wardens, and is mentored by another inmate by the name of Red. Written from Red's point of view, it was a character piece and not something particularly theatrical. However, Darabont was aware that extending the narrative to highlight more of Dufresne's struggles in prison and to highlight his relationship with Red would provide rich material for the style of traditional filmmaking he cherished. It took a few years before Darabont was able to begin writing the screenplay. Once it was complete, he sent it to Castle Rock, the production company behind Rob Reiner's 1986 Oscar-nominated Stand By Me, which was based on the Stephen King story The Body. After reading the script, executive Liz Glotzer was enthralled. Reiner, who intended to direct the movie, agreed. However, Darabont was adamant though. He felt he knew the material even though he had no significant feature films to his credit as a director. But Cruise, who Reiner intended to play as Andy Dufresne, who also collaborated with Reiner on 1982's A Few Good Men, stood up when Darabont insisted he stay in the director's chair. Tim Robbins was cast by Darabont to play Dufresne instead. In the novella, Red was described as a white Irishman, but the director thought Morgan Freeman would be a better fit for the mentor role. Ohio State Reformatory, which had been in operation from 1896 until 1990 before closing over accusations of cruel treatment of its prisoners, served as the location for filming during the summer of 1993. Though Darabont intended to take one step further and have the actors spend a week in isolation in order to get into characters, many of the actors found the setting to be oppressive. It's possible both Castle Rock and Warner Bros., which were tasked with distributing the movie, were very confident in the film's prospects of success due to its strong script. Furthermore, Robbins also referred to it as the best he had ever read. But there were other things to think about. For instance, audiences have never really found prison films to be very appealing. Additionally, the adaptations had a history of devolving into slop, with many receiving mixed reviews in the marketplace. Reiner's 1980 rendition of Misery was a hit, but The Dark Half and Needful Things from 1993 did not fare so well. Freeman was hesitant as well. In particular, the title of the movie bothered him. The Shawshank Redemption was a title that was hard for some people to remember, even though it had been condensed from the novella. Was it Scrimshaw of Redemption, Redemption of Scrimshaw, or even the Redemption of Shawshank? The Hollywood Reporter correctly predicted that the film would be challenging to market when they referred to the title as enigmatic. However, neither the movie's title nor its history was the true issue with it. The issue was John Travolta. On October 14, 1994, The Shawshank Redemption debuted widely and faced competition from Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction, his follow-up film which had won the Cannes Film Festival the previous year. The film featured an all-star cast in a gritty crime anthology along with John Travolta's comeback tale. There was no doubt this movie captured the attention of the media. The Shawshank Redemption, already weighed down by its ostensibly depressing premise, descended to the bottom of the box office. It appeared as though The Shawshank Redemption would stay a movie that had not just connected with audiences for the rest of 1994. Subsequently, the film encountered success when it was shortlisted for 7 Academy Awards in 1994, including Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Actor. Even though it was unsuccessful, it was heavily discussed during the broadcast on March 27, 1994. It was an initial step. Warner Bros. Decided to re-release the movie in theaters, earning an additional $12 million on the strength of the nominations. In the spring of 1995, the studio also released 320,000 VHS copies of the movie, a movie that many Hollywood insiders considered rather ambitious given how poorly The Shawshank Redemption had done at the box office. However, the gamble paid off in the rental market, where it frequently outperformed the seemingly unstoppable Forrest Gump. The Shawshank Redemption finally became a hit. But the true breakthrough happened in 1997 when Ted Turner's TNT network arranged for the cable rights. Although studio films frequently fetch high prices when sold to broadcast and cable networks, Turner's deal with The Shawshank Redemption was a little different. The media titan was essentially selling the movie to himself because he had just bought Castle Rock in 1993. TNT established the film as a mainstay on their schedule, allowing them to watch it whenever they pleased. After seeing the movie for the first time, viewers realized how they could have had the wrong idea when it was being promoted for a theater run. Even though Andy Dupresne's salvation involved crawling through a feces-filled sewer, which Robbins later claimed was filled with actual cow manure, the majority of the Shawshank Redemption does allow Dupresne to wallow in misery. Dupresne's eventual destination made the film worthwhile. As the years rolled by, the Shawshank Redemption underwent a remarkable transformation that turned its initial setback into a triumph. What began as a box office disappointment slowly but steadily became a cultural phenomenon, thanks to the enduring power of storytelling and the film's ability to resonate with audiences on a profound level. Through the grapevine of passionate moviegoers and the growing accessibility of home video releases, The Shawshank Redemption found a second life beyond the confines of a theater. It wasn't just a film, it became a shared experience, whispered about in conversations, recommended with enthusiasm, and passed on from one generation of cinephiles to the next. The film's ascent to classic status wasn't solely due to the critical acclaim, though there was no shortage of that. It was the themes embedded in the narrative, hope, friendship, and redemption, that struck a chord with viewers. The emotional depth and the universal resonance of those themes transcended the initial challenges the film faced, forming an indelible connection between the characters' journey and the hearts of the audience. One of its notable achievements is its remarkable presence on the IMDb Top 250 list. Over the years, it consistently maintained a high ranking, often residing at the top of the list, reflecting the enduring love and admiration it receives from audiences worldwide. The journey from box office underperformance to being hailed as one of the greatest films ever made serves as an inspiring example of how a film's true impact can unfold over time, and leaving an everlasting imprint on the landscape of cinema.